Hi, and welcome to Integrative Wisdom Soul Catalyst Card Deck Day. So that does mean it's Wednesday. And if you're watching this any other day than a Wednesday, welcome. And just know that for now, every Wednesday, I come out here to the center of creative transformation. And on Wednesdays, I pick a card from the Soul Catalyst card deck and just share a little bit of what that card might mean for us and how it might benefit us as we go about trying to live life um, as um, as centered and as full and as calm and as authentic and as compassionate as we can. So that's what we're going to do right now. So here are the cards. And today I'm just going to hold them in my hand like that. And I've already mixed them up a bunch. Have no idea, which card is where. And as always, I stop, put my feet flat on the floor, and hold the cards in my hands while I am stopping all other thoughts in my head. Nothing that I need to do later, nothing that I'm worrying about for, the family or the world or any of that. And just simply showing up and saying, what is the wisdom for today or the practice for today that we can incorporate. And again, if you don't know very much about this particular tool or practice, that means that you could benefit from going and learning more about it. The Soul Catalyst cards are a jumping off point. They are not the end all be all. I am not an expert on, every single tool out there. Nope, more on the bigger picture. So let's see what we find for today. And as always, with lightness of being, even if things are tough. Coming into this space, there's just an acknowledgement that we are not alone and that we could never be alone, actually. Even if we feel that way, that's not the way things really are. So body, mind, spirit, and soul. Here we go. Let's see what wants to come out and be of service to us today. Okay. I have the card. Always, I'm going to turn it for you first, and then it's reversed. So let's see if we can read it. Let's see which card it is. Ready? It's a soul card. Listen, pay attention. Soul in integrative wisdom is that deepest, truest part of ourselves. We take it out of the place of trying to define it from a religious perspective, because not everybody finds themselves in that space. But if that is where you are, then you can always use the Soul Catalyst cards from, in fact, that's the only way you really can use them, is from that place within you to help you. So the listen, pay attention card, it is mainly saying, as I said, we're never alone. But sometimes the noise in our head is so loud that we can't hear anything but that. And so this is saying, listen, but not to our ruminous. Yeah, that word. Listen deeper. Listen to that deeper place, to that deeper connectedness, to that truest self. And pay attention, because the soul will speak to us in partnership with the divine, with the universe, to help us be that best self, that truest self that we are called to be here in this incarnation, right? And so for this week, we are given the tool of learning how to listen and to pay attention to the ways that we are being supported, perhaps. Let's see what number. It's a 10 in the Soul Catalyst. You could use these cards to play cards with too, which is kind of fun. Okay. So I'm reading from my little book, which we haven't gotten printed yet. Have you got tired of hearing me say that yet? It's coming. It's coming. I'm so excited. The cool thing about this tool is that it reminds us that we are a 4-in-1 system, and that in fact, you could have a physical issue come up for you that is really not so much about the body as it is more about your soul. Or you could have thoughts that are coming back to you, so the mind, right? So you're paying attention, but you're translating it incorrectly. You're blaming yourself, you're angry at others, you forget that there's a connection and a bigger picture. And so you're called to come back to that deeper, truer part. So that is that 4-in-1 saying, pay attention in all directions and learn the language, learn to listen. This is also a card or a tool or a practice that is in a way challenging or encouraging, whichever way you find more helpful, beneficial to think of it, to figure out, what do you think about this whole soul idea? Is it something that you can acknowledge and that you can use in your journey? You know, that soul perspective. Are you caught up in someone else's definition and you've never really claimed it for yourself? It's like school or parents or whomever has said to you, believe this, and you've never examined it to see if that is how that truly works for you on your journey. Because each of us is given one life, right? And we're not here to live it for somebody else. We're here to do the work that we were brought here to do. At least that's an integrative wisdom. Again, that's our perspective. It's why it's called the Soul Catalyst card deck, because it is to get us moving in that direction of being so aware that we are an extension of compassion and divine healing. And that the healing is not, by the way, this is just a side note, there's a difference between healing and curing. And so a lot of times what people will do is they expect to have their physical being healed or made well, cured. But the reality in healing is that body, mind, spirit, soul have all come together And all of those forces are united into one cohesive being. And that is healing. And so we say people can die healed. So a lot of times people will think of healing as the physical healing. That's all they're really concerned about in a way, right? I want to be healed. Basically what they're saying is I want to be cured. And at that point in time, then if we're talking about some major illness and you're cured, but you still may have a whole lot of work to do to be healed. And so that you are showing up fully and completely to the gift that you are. So, and when we say pay attention, we are talking about the synchronicities. We are talking about the little nudges. We are talking about the unusual, which we usually say, well, that was weird, right? Usually the synchronicities and the mysteries, that was weird. How did that happen? So we pay attention. We pay attention to those, and then we discern. What is it that I'm being called to? How to decipher this, right? Let's see. I'm looking at my version, my printed up version of the guidebook. There's a guidebook. All right. One other thing that is talked about in the book is the soul's calling. That sometimes we get bogged down in the day-to-day life, that we get caught in materialism. We get caught in the safety, which is kind of hard in today's world anyway. But sometimes we're being asked to go out on that limb. And as you may remember, that's kind of what got us out here to the center and to create this space. Nudges. And if we would have followed conventional wisdom, if I would call it wisdom, we were doing the exact wrong thing at the exact wrong time. We were older, and instead of downsizing, we were upsizing. So we lost tax perks and things of that nature. And so you have to, especially if you're a security type personality, you may be getting these hits that you're supposed to be doing something different, and that may really challenge you. So that's where all the other practices help, the other 51 practices. But pay attention in case you are being called to something different and something that's going to take you outside of your comfort zone. And trust that you're going to be given the insight, and that, it's not going to be necessarily, and I've said this before, it's not just because you get the calling that everything just opens up. As Parker Palmer says, which I loved, sometimes he knew what direction to go because of the doors that were closing on his journey. So it wasn't that, all these doors are opening and everything is a breeze. We're called. And so pay attention and trust. And I think that's a practice as well. But anyway, here's our card for this week. All right. You guys have a great time for the rest of the week. Love and hugs.